This episode may contain adult themes and explicit language. Listener discretion is advised.
Sorry.
What's the trick in making my love stick? What's the trick?
Hello, and welcome to the Film Critic and the Common Man podcast. Other film podcasts might talk about Cherry Jones, but this one assumes she's actually a porn star. Every episode, we discuss a film from the perspective of a film critic and from the perspective of a common man. We may not agree, but it certainly won't be boring. I am your host, Ben Miller. I write and podcast about films for my own site, Ice Cream for Freaks, and am a member of the North Texas Film Critics Association, as well as the International Film Society Critics. I am joined by my brother and common man co-host, Jake Miller. Jake, hello.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
I'm doing great, bud. We are going along and starting down this journey of what podcasting will become. So I'm excited to get started. Let's talk a little bit about what we're actually going to be doing going through here. Essentially, I will be in the process of, we will choose a movie, and then I will watch it from my normal perspective, and you the same thing as yourself. And I might get a little geeky about the directors and their filmographies and where this film fits along in their legacy and Oscars and split diopter shots and all that kind of stuff. What do you look for when you're watching a film?
Yeah, so basically my perspective on films is like, do I want to watch it? Do I want to sit through, 2 hours, 2.5, however long it is? Like, is that going to be worth my money at the theater? Am I going to be entertained? Am I going to enjoy it? Is this something I would recommend? So, yeah, basically, I'm just the average dude that watches movies sometimes, and yeah, I'll tell you if I think it's good or if I think it sucks or whatever.
So just for a little bit of background, this podcast was kind of born out of our mutual disdain for Jurassic World Dominion.
Yeah, that was the impetus.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we watched, obviously, the first Jurassic World at the same time when we were kids. And I was 7, so that make you 9.
Right.
So, and I mean, it was the perfect movie going experience for a kid of that age. It was,
oh yeah,
it was exciting. It was terrifying, visceral, all that kind of things that go along with it. And then together we separately watched Jurassic World Dominion, and we both kind of went to the same place of, wow, that was not very good. Except I went as like, legacy sequels and the troubles and all this kind of stuff, and talking about Chris Pratt's career. And you waxed much more eloquently than I did.
Well, that's rare. But yeah, I guess I went in to watch this movie. We had our kids, and I went in expecting, kind of a legacy deal. Like, I was expecting the original Jurassic Park, which, when I was 9 years old, was like, that's amazing, and I mean, I still like the original.
Yeah.
And I think it was very ahead of its time, as far as, special effects and stuff like that. I mean, it was super cool. So I guess I was just, looking for it to connect better with this last one or something. And it just kind of seemed like a bunch of people that retired from all that, like, were forced to come back in, and they're like, we don't really care. Like, it was just, I don't know. It didn't do anything for me.
Yeah, and I saw it more of as I can recognize something like a cash grab, or people who are not very invested in the material, or some who are and some who aren't. And that'll be the big difference whenever we talk about stuff like we're about to do our first full episode, and I come from the perspective of it's like, well, where does it fit? Where will this film fit in the legacy? And you're more along the lines of, well, I love this film for these reasons, and you're really passionate about it, but not necessarily as and we'll have that disconnect. But at the same time, we're lucky enough to have the background between each other where we're not actually going to be like, well, you're an idiot, and even if we do think we're idiots,
and we do.
Yes, absolutely.
We hate each other. Actually.
That's obviously why we're doing this podcast through Zoom. We can't be in the same room. Yeah.
Right.
So we'll have a lot of things to go through, and we'll get into some fun things and a lot of different interesting movies. We'll go back and forth. One week Jake will pick a movie, and then next week I'll pick a movie. Go back and forth. Sometimes it's things we've seen. Sometimes it's things we haven't seen. We'll touch on some brand new movies. We'll touch on some really old movies. We're not necessarily stopping at one place. It's exciting to look at a lot of different things. And we're excited to go on this journey with all you guys out there. We thank you very much for being a part of us.
Definitely.
And so the other fun thing about this is I am, being the film critic that I am, I'm all over the place. You can find me on Twitter at NebIsBen. You can find me on Letterboxd at Neb810. You can find me on Instagram at Ben Miller Movies. My own site, icecreamforfreaks.com. You can find my writing on the Film Experience and Cinema Scholars. I am a Banana Meter critic. I am for the International Film Society Critics, North Texas Film Critics Association. You can find me all over the place. I love to hear from you. Connect with me. Jake, where can they find you?
They can't. I don't.
Yes. So
I don't give a shit and don't want to be contacted by anyone really. So if you want to get a hold of us, talk to Ben and they'll let me know pertinent information. And
you can essentially say like, well, Jake shouldn't say these things. Jake shouldn't have this, like, he doesn't care. He has no, you can't cancel him. There's nothing to cancel. So I'll be on, but I'll be here doing my film critic stuff. So I'm excited. We're going to have a lot of fun doing this. And we're going to do our opening episode on Forrest Gump coming soon. And that should be a fun conversation. So stick around here. Make sure to follow the pod on Twitter as well at Critic Common Pod, and like and subscribe, and you should not miss anything going forward. Thanks so much for being here, and we'll hope to see you soon.
What's the trick? What's the trick? In making my love stick. What's the trick?